Hey group, how are you guys doing? Okay, so we're not going to waste our time going down the slippery slope of the technology demons, but Be Live TV was not working out. I really wanted to live stream this because it would have been awesome to get some, on the fly feedback, but it's just not working that way. But anyway, if any of you have been paying attention, we've had a fireball join the group, Miss Chandra Brooks, and she is the featured entrepreneur for this Saturday. So we're going to talk to her and learn about her business, what she does, how she does it. And some of you may not only get inspired, you may decide that you need to start doing something. So I'm going to shut up because it's not about me. Tell them who you are and what you do.
Hi, August. Thank you so much for having me here. And I'm excited to be a part of this new group. I think your posts and your lives are inspiring, and they always spark something inside of me. I'm like, oh, that's my girl. I love her.
Thank you.
But I think we're on the same level in the way we think.
Yeah.
But I'm Chandra Brooks. I am also known as the Socialpreneur. That is my brand name. And I started this business because I have 20 years of experience in political activism, in community activism, developing nonprofits, leadership development. And I said, you know what, all this skill and all this education and all this time that I've been doing this work, I'm ready to help other women or anybody, not just women, but my target is women, jump into action, whether it's in activism, whether it's in their business or in their community. And I want to teach them how to do it. So I feel like I'm a leadership specialist. I help women become leaders, whether in their business, in their company, in community, or in politics.
Okay, and so me and you, we already kind of talked just a little bit, and I know that there are several people in the book. There's one guy, I just thought about him. I'm going to tag him because I know that he is really into the activism side of things, and I'm going to tell you right now, his persona and his demeanor, it says politician. I mean, he looks like, the architectural type of an individual without being stereotypical, but some people just kind of carry that presidential feel. And I don't know what he knows or not, but in your 20 years of experience, not that you're going to tell everybody the steps, but talk to him a little bit about the being able to have those connections, why you do what you do, because it's not just as simple as filing a 501c3 and it's, giving it a funky name and then asking people for some money. What you've learned some things over the years, and give them some bullet points of the kind of stuff they're going to have to do or what they'll experience and find out by working with you.
Yeah. So one of the things that I focus on with my business is teaching people how to become an influencer, right? How to have that influence, because it's so important. And what I tell people is that influence that I built up for years it's worth so much. It's worth so much when you could pick up the phone and get something done quickly instead of keep calling a politician's office over and over again and nobody's calling you back because they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Right? They know who you are, they'll be like, oh, I better call Chandra back because she won't leave me alone. And the next time I see her at an event, she's going to be hemming me up in the corner saying how to call me back. So, and they know that I get things done, right? They know that I'm an influencer. They know I get to work. They know I'm a part of this group or that group. So, you got to be able to have these relationships, right? It's not all about relationships. So it's very strategic how I built these political relationships within the community, because what I seen very early on in my career when I started doing politics is that I knew that I can get things done faster, because I had people come to me and say, I've tried to call the mayor's office and nobody's getting back to me, and I can't even do this, I can't even do that. And then I, able to pick up the phone and get a call or email back very quickly and get that done. So I knew that I was onto something, right? I was onto something, and I knew I had a skill, and I knew, this is something that it's helpful. It's not just to benefit me.
Yeah.
Any type of influence that I've had, I've used it for good. I've used it to, to help a young kid that was something's going on at juvenile hall or at the courts or something. It was always to help a family or help an organization in order to do something good. It was never for my own gain, right?
Yeah.
So learned early on what political influence could do to help, using it for good and not just for my personal benefit. But you can, if you have a company and you want some political influence because you want to build or you want to do something at a certain street and you need a commission to approve it, or you need, the buy-in from the mayor or the city council, you got to talk to them. You have to be able to get in the room with them. If you can't get in the room with them, you can't make things happen, right?
No petitions, get 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 signatures. It's deeper than that.
It's deeper than that, right? It's deeper than that. Yeah. So you have to be able to have relationships to get things done. It's priceless to have these relationships.
Approximately how long, at least a projection, how long does it take to establish these relationships at a minimum?
Right. Well, they have to see that you are active, right? They have to see that you're active in the community, right? They have to know that you're not just anybody that's just using them and needs them, because they're being pulled in every which direction, right? And that, it's not for a financial gain, that you're just trying to be friends with them or develop these relationships with them. So I would say it took me probably about 6 to 7 years to build, that confidence in people. And politicians are in and out, they're on terms. So these are constantly relationships, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You have a new person come in that gets elected. I know the way to become friends with them, know their staff, figure out where they're at all the time and make these connections quicker than those 7 years.
What you just explained was your learning curve.
Right, exactly.
Now that you've been through the learning curve, that 6 years plus that 14 years plus added to it, It's like, no, I understand systematically how to move, when to move, where to move, what to do. But the other thing I just keep hearing over and over again, beyond the relationships, I hear work, people. Work, 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 work. She's talking activism, nonprofit, all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, it's still an entrepreneurial endeavor. And you guys hear me say it all the time. If it comes fast, it won't last. You have to work for whatever it is that you want. And I think that this is beautiful because there's so many people, it seems to me, that there seems to be an increase. All of a sudden, it's just inflated. More and more people have a cause that they want to stand for, they want to fight for. But I'm hearing you say it can't just be a fly-by-night thought, and I hate to, and I like to steer away from, really, really sensitive topics, because that's not necessarily what this group is for. But it makes me think about a post a girlfriend of mine put up in St. Louis City. That's where I'm from. When the Mike Brown situation occurred, that was 2 weeks after we moved. And everybody was marching and willing to, get put in jail and tear gassing and bombing. And everybody all of a sudden wanted immediate access to the mayor and all of the governor and the senators and everybody. And that's my thing is if you see a problem and you see a cause, while there is no Mike Brown, get out there and do something. And here's the funny thing. I also just recently saw within the last month or so, people saying that they're so upset because the wrong type of person, you get what I'm saying, was just recently elected mayor. So where was that activism? Where was that going and getting in that car, picking the people up in the van, taking their butts to the, to the voting polls? I don't care what your excuses are, it died down. And I really, really, not to steal your thunder, I'm going to let you have it back, but I'm like literally, I love this when I speak to people because I'm all about the mindset and just poking holes in the BS. You have got to understand right now that you need to realize whether or not you're having an emotional fit versus you have something that you really want to walk the walk and talk the talk about, and that's what I'm hearing. You're like, baby, relationships work. Relationships work.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, this has taken me several years to develop, right? This has taken me several years to develop, and I do the work. You could Google my name and you will see that I do the work. You can go on my Facebook page. I was just at the Richmond Detention Center. We were trying to shut down the ICE Detention Center in Richmond. I mean, so I do this work every day. And I've been doing it for years. So this is not something that I just started doing. This is something that I know how to do very well. And it takes a lot of work. And this is what I tell people. I tell people is that, I think, and you're exactly right about a recent increase in people wanting to do something, whether it's become politically active, right? We saw the Women's March in January.
Exactly.
And this is kind of what lit my fire, to go this direction, is because I seen all these women that want to get active. And I felt some type of way about that, because I was like, where are these people at when we're doing this and when we're doing that, when we're doing this? They don't come out, but because it's a big promoted Women's March, now everybody wants to come out and march.
Exactly.
And I had women say, come to me and say, Chandra, I've never cared about anybody else other than myself and my own family until now. I want to do what you do. How do I do that? How do I do that? So, several women have come to me for that. So that, people are starting, and that's what when you go on my website, it says ignite that socially conscious human inside of you.
Yes.
Because that's what I want to do. And that's what people have already ignited inside of them, that there's something there that they want to do. They just don't know what yet. Mm-hmm. I help people pull that out. You're like, what are you most passionate about? Is it the homeless? Is it children, right? Is it, hunger? What is it? And I help them pull that out, because some people just want to start something, right? They just want to start a nonprofit because they've seen it on TV and they're like, I want to do that too. No, you should start something that you're most passionate about, because if not, right, and this, August, if not, it's gonna fizz out.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be too much. You got to do something that you're most passionate about, and that's gonna keep your fire to keep it going. Whether it's a nonprofit, whether it's a business, whether it's a promotion. And this is why I say I think I have that natural talent to pull that out of somebody and ignite you to take it to the next level.
Absolutely. And you do the same thing in your own way with your group, but I want to just put out an example, and I'm not saying that everybody has to do it this way, but you can tell when someone is passionate about what they do. And I love to quote Dennis Kimbrough, because he said, one of the ways you can gauge it is, will you do it for free? That doesn't mean I expect you to do it for free, but the question is, will you do it for free? And there was one young lady who actually had a session live in the group. If you all didn't see it, go back and watch that session with Taylor. But she was like, I got all of these gifts. She was in that place of confusion. I got all these gifts, and I can write, and I can sing, and I can dance, and, I can do poetry or do a book. And it's like, sweetie, slow down, zone in. What's your passion? And one of the key questions that I asked her is, well, what do you do even when you're angry? Mm-hmm. Because like for me, I could design jewelry, I could write poetry, I could write books, I'm multifaceted, I could do a lot of things. However, when I'm angry and I'm distracted, there's some things I don't want to be bored with. And sometimes I may do it because it'll release some stress. But at the end of the day, advising people, counseling people, giving tips, I could be having a piss poor day. You could pick up the phone and call me and be like, August, do you have a second? Such and such happened to me. And I'll be like, wait a minute, hold up. What happened? Okay, did you think about this, and this? And before you know it, I'm walking you through, cooling you down. I'm also internalizing what I'm saying and cooling me down. So it's like really embedded in my DNA. And a lot of people, they see the fame, they see the glory, they see the numbers, they see the following. Like even with me and my group, it hasn't even been open that long, but some people might be like, dang, well, how did she get that many members? I might not have exploded to 1,000, in a short period of time, but it's still kind of like, where did this tribe come from? But consistently, because live is my thing every single day. Mm-hmm. Every single day you guys get alive. Every single day you get content. You have to really, really believe and feel whatever this thing is in your heart, because it's not for the swift and the strong. It's for the individuals that will endure to the end. So ask yourself, what do I want to do? Why do I want to do it? And am I in this for the long haul? And with socially, politically charged things, baby, you really better be ready, because that level of entrepreneurship could turn into a nightmare and a headache just as fast as you begin. I admire what you do. You're a rock star.
Thank you. Yeah, and this is what I tell people, they say, well, I want to do this nonprofit, and where do I get the money? Where are the grants at? Chandra, can you write a grant for me? And I was like, yeah, if you pay me, I could write a grant for you. But those grants are very technical, and if you want a whole lot of money, and sometimes funders won't fund a grant unless you've had other grants. So you got to have some experience. You got to have, they want to see if you can handle that money. They ain't going to just pay on you to start your charity. And people really believe that. People think like it's going to be easy. They think that because it's grant money and it's free money, they think that it's not hard to get, but it is.
Now,
I taught you how to do that.
Now, I don't know this, but I just thought about it because you said this. Do any of them ever want some form of personal data, kind of like bank loans? They want to see what your bank account is like and whether or not you've managed your own money, because I'm not trying to be funny. I know with me personally, I've had, if a family member comes to me and say, can I get $1,000? Let's have a conversation first.
Right.
Because I could have sworn I just saw you on Facebook in Disneyland. I love you, but I'm not just finna shell out cash. And and so I would imagine that,
yeah, they do. They want to see budgets. They want to see your finances. They want to see a budget. They want to say, tell me about other grants that you've received and how you use that money.
Yeah.
They want to know that. So, but I don't want to discourage people from starting. These are for people that want to like jump into a big nonprofit and have big dreams of a huge nonprofit. You can start very small. If you want to start homeless every Saturday and you want to make sandwiches and meals, that's still going to take money to do.
Absolutely.
It's still going to take money to do, but it's got to be a passion. You got to build, right? And just like any entrepreneur endeavor, you got to build. That's a nonprofit is a business. You can still make money off a nonprofit, and that's what people don't know. People think that you're not making any money. You should generate a salary when you have a nonprofit and, and do the charity work. You're getting paid. And that's what I've done my whole career. Most of my career has been in nonprofits, but I've always been in the higher level and executive positions. So you can make really good money. And that multi-million dollar nonprofits, that have, so you're not just working for free. And some people have that misconception is that you're working for free.
No, because part of your expense is to make sure that it affords you the time to be able to do it. So if you need to get from here to there, well, there goes your plane ticket, you do your car so that you can drive or, whatever, however, but the point is all of that stuff has to be documented. It still has to be accounted for. And the thing about it is that's why some people can win the lottery today and be flat broke in less than 6 months, because having a lump sum of money doesn't make you efficient. It doesn't make you capable of understanding how to do something. But the other thing I'm hearing from you too is not to hold anyone's past against them. But if you want to do this and you haven't thought about it, position yourself. Yeah. Position yourself now. Pay attention to what you're posting on social media.
Hello. This is why I tell people all the time, because that'll tell something about you. And let me just give you a snippet on that, is that this last job that I have is very high level position in a union, right? I never wanted to work for a union. I never never said I want to work for a union one day, but they found me on Facebook. That the president and vice president started following me on Facebook, watched me for a little while, and then they inboxed me for an interview on Facebook. So I tell people all the time, you better be careful on what you post.
Oh, yeah.
Because that could be an opportunity or could cost you an opportunity, right? Because they start out and say, oh, she's real negative, or she parties too much, or she wastes her money, or she does this, or he does that. That's nowadays that's a make or break opportunity right there. So
absolutely.
Very strategic and very, be careful on what you put on social media, because that's your brand. Your social media is your brand.
Oops, say it again. And the thing, I'm going to tell you, I've had people send me a friend request, look at it, accept it, and immediately, because when you do it, it automatically connects you to Messenger, like seconds after, say, you work with such and such, they referred me to you, I need a coach. Yeah. And I'm sure it isn't rocket science. I'm sure they went and clicked and they're like, okay, do this and you can make it and be a believer and achieve. People develop trust based on what they see. So my thing is, if you are an entrepreneur and I go on your page and I see a bunch of racially charged things, if I see a bunch of, there's nothing wrong with entertaining comedy and fun stuff, but it seems like you're always putting the latest hilarious pic up there in a meme, or I said this on a video in one of my other groups, you got a guy that's trying to skateboard on a fence and he falls and busts his balls, if you look like you're just a goof off, people, whether you guys like it or not, people can tell a lot about your life. They're looking at you like, that ain't no business owner. They every time I see them, they're in their feed talking about, the latest television show and who did what. And anybody that's a real entrepreneur, anybody that's built a business, they respect the hustle and the grind. No one wants to see you perfect, but we want to see that you're being productive. And if you're putting garbage out there, and even it's not just about the nonprofit. It's like, do I really want to work with that person? And like you said, it's branding. It's branding all day long. And people, you can't say that, you're a spiritual coach, but every time you put up something, it's negative.
Right.
People are going to look like, is she spiritual for real? So yeah, pay attention to what you're putting on social media. Fix it. Make sure that it mirrors who you are and what you do, because all of this stuff is having an impact, whether you're trying to, do a nonprofit or not. Yeah, but I hope that you guys got a lot from her. Okay. And at the bottom of this, once I post the video, I want you to put your links so that if anybody wants to reach out to you, don't reach out to her for some dumb stuff. I don't think that I have to tell my people that, but if
they do.
Yeah, she's gonna get you, and she's gonna tell on you. Don't make you guys know. They know that I'll police them. They've seen the video that has taught them a business lesson of how you get kicked out of this group for doing something that is not collaborative or something like that. But don't waste her time. Don't call her because you want to pick her brain. Pay for a strategy session, because this woman has 20 years of equipped knowledge. I know with a strategy session with me, when you pay for it, you walk away with abundance. Yes. So if you're going to reach out to her, don't reach out to her because you're young and you have a dream. You're ready to act on this, and you're ready to make a change, and you're ready to do something different.
Yes, exactly.
You want to say any last words before I don't want to keep us on here all day. I could talk to you all day, though.
I know. I think I can talk to you all day, and we got so much to talk about. But so if anybody wants to go to my website, it's the social-preneur.com, and they can really see what I'm about. My bio's on there. You can see my years of experience, but also I'm open to people Googling me, and you really see, I'm about that life.
Yes.
About that life. I am not playing. This is what I do, and this is what I do well. So anybody wants to inbox me, like I said, I'm open to answering questions and scheduling a call. But I'm just so happy to be here, and I appreciate you, August, for having me.
No problem. You guys come correct or don't come at all. All right, so we're getting out of here. If you want to be the next featured entrepreneur for Saturday, make sure when I put the post up, you sign up. If you don't promote yourself, who will? We out of here. Real talk. Deuces.